Hi, my name is Kyle. This is my Dr.Who Podcast. I'm trying to get new fans. Doctor is one of my favorite shows on Music America. How many years have you been Doctor Who fan?
I've been a Doctor Who fan for roughly 10 years, give or take.
How did you get interested in Doctor Who?
Well, that's an interesting question. Originally, I got interested in Doctor Who thanks to all the merchandise that I saw at stores like Hot Topic and Spencer's, because they had so many items by the series, like cookie jars, throw blankets, you name it, and there would be a TARDIS or some sort of Doctor Who item in there, which got me thinking, you know what? If Doctor Who has this much merchandise, it might be worth watching. So what I ended up doing was going on my TV, finding it on demand, and start watching it from the beginning. Well, not really from the beginning, because there was like a 20-year hiatus, but from like the revived version.
Awesome. Next question. Who was your favorite Doctor Who?
That would be Doctor Number 10, played by David Tennant, back in 2005.
What's your favorite episode?
You know, the show's been on for a really long, for like 50 years, like 55 years now. And there's like well over 500 episodes of Doctor Who. There's no way I could give a favorite episode, but I mean, any episode that involves the Daleks, that's that's really my favorite episodes. I don't have a particular episode, but what episodes, if the Daleks are involved, those are my favorite.
Okay. Who is your favorite Doctor Who companion and why?
Well, like, again, the show's been on for like over 55 years, and the Doctors had several companions throughout the series, but I would have to say that my favorite companion was Doctor Number 11's companion, Amy Pond, played by Karen Gillan.
Why is that his favorite companion?
Well, she's an interesting character. I think she's like the only companion that actually got married to a fellow companion, her husband Rory, and also the first companion to give birth to Doctor Who's wife, River Song. It's a weird time paradox thing. It's very complicated, but very fascinating at the same time.
Do you have anything in common with Doctor Who?
Yes, I do, and that would be pacifism. Like Doctor Who, I am also a pacifist, and what I mean by that is, unlike other heroes in media, the Doctor doesn't really fight. He solves problems by having conversations with his enemies or running away, pretty much. But he doesn't really fight. I mean, there have been a few exceptions where he's had to fight in previous incarnations of him, but for the most part, he is a pacifist through and through, like me. And that's what I find that I have in common with him.
Okay. What is your top 4 favorite episodes?
That would be the 10th Doctor's Silence in the Library, where we first were introduced to his future wife, River Song, and that episode has to do with how books could be used as weapons. One of the quotes that he stated was that pen is mightier than the sword. And I mean, he's in a library surrounded by books, and I mean, nothing could be further from the truth. My second is the girl in the fireplace, where he actually goes back in time, as he often does in his TARDIS slash spaceship, and meets one of the mistresses of one of the French kings, and he stumbles upon an automatron, like a predecessor of a android, and it was just a really cool episode because he interacted with this girl in like 18th century France in the Palace of Versailles, and she kind of was raised with him, but he wasn't raised with her because there was like a time jump kind of thing. It's quite complicated, but quite interesting at the same time. My third is the third Doctor's first encounter with the Daleks at the Daleks' home planet, where he had to figure out whether he should commit genocide for all these species or spare them. But the issue was that if he did commit genocide, he would himself be a villain. But if he did not commit genocide, then in the future he knew that the Daleks, who's based on the Nazis by the Doctor Who writers, would go on a killing spree. So he was debating with himself, right or wrong, and I found that really fascinating. And the fourth would have to be where the 10th Doctor went to the day of the destruction of Pompeii in Italy, where he actually met the physical body of his future self when he eventually becomes the 12th Doctor. And there's well over 500 episodes of the Doctor Who, but thinking about it in such a short time, those are the four I was thinking of.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for honors.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to my show.